Hey, what's up and welcome to Serv's Garage. Today we are checking out the new Ride 2 motorcycle simulation game from Milestone, which is coming up from 7th of October. So it's less than 1 week and the game is out. Today I'm talking about my first honest impressions of the game. And of course my opinions are my opinions. That doesn't mean that it's objective opinion. So let's start with bikes. There is now more than 200 bikes from 15 different categories to choose from, and that's a lot of bikes. And there are all those fancy little MX bikes and naked bikes and street bikes, race bikes. I think there is no other game that has so many bikes in one game, and they are all highly detailed and very good models. There is one thing though, and that's what I don't like, and that's the sound. I think the sounds of those bikes are not so fantastic than in real life. I don't know, but my first opinion is that the sound should be much better. Alright, let's continue. Let's go to the tracks. I think there is 30 tracks in 7 categories. I haven't counted all those tracks, how many tracks there are available. There are very good variety of actual real world Formula GB tracks and public road tracks, and I think that's very awesome, because you can go just like in Ride 1. You can choose if you want to drive in actual race tracks or in the city tracks, and of course there are the countryside tracks in different areas in the world, like USA, Japan, southern France, Italy. Of course Italy, there is a lot of Italian stuff in the game, of course, because Milestone is Italian company. Just like in Assetto Corsa, everything are in Italy. But yeah, then we can continue for the most important stuff in my opinion, and that's the gameplay. And like every Grand Prix MotoGP games, and like in the first Ride game, I wasn't so impressed by the handling. Well, the good thing is that you can actually use to it very fast. You have to drive maybe 2 to 5 races and you are in there. You know how to handle the bike. But the first thing is that the turning is very slow. It's like laggy, and you're very easily starting to wobble with the handling, and it really gets to the nerves, especially at the start. But when you're getting used to that, the handling comes very more natural, and you can control the bike pretty good. But if you are very good with the Ride games and if you have played a lot MotoGP games, you are instantly there. You know how to drive. There's nothing new with the driving, but in my opinion, it's very slow. Of course, it's not very fast in real life, and it's a simulation game. But one thing that I don't like at all, the handling you can get used to and adapt that very fast. But the one thing that I hate is the impression and immersion of speed. It feels like if you're not looking the meter and you feel like I'm driving 15 kilometers per hour, the meter says 70 kilometers per hour. So that comes to what the fuck? Why this bike ain't turning anywhere? I'm driving 15 kilometers per hour. No, you are driving 70 kilometers per hour. So fuck the immersion of that. When I'm actually driving 160 kilometers per hour, it feels like I'm driving 70 kilometers per hour. So that's terribly wrong. But the immersion is a bit better in the first person angle. If you are getting used to driving with the first person angle, the immersion is a lot better, but it's not realistic speed. It's much more slower than the meter says. That's a big issue, because I think the feel of the speed should be much more impressive. But the simulation parts are otherwise very good. The physics are great, especially when falling off the bike. The ragdoll is pretty fun to watch, and it's nice to see where the bike is going if you're hitting very hard and the very high speed. It is really fun to see, almost like in Grand Theft Auto. But yeah, the simulation part in any other ways are pretty good because there are a lot of customization, 1200 parts focused on turning the stock version of the bikes the real racing replica. So there is a lot of customization, and I think the simulation parts are very good, and that's the main thing in the simulation game. Let's go with the graphics. I think the graphics are surprisingly good. They are improved from the last ride, and they are much better than in MotoGP games. I think they are getting there. Ride 2 is not Drive Club yet, but it's getting there, and it is looking pretty impressive. I think I'm enjoying all the scenes, all the trees, all the roads, details. The buildings next to the track are not so accurate, and the paint jobs and anything and everything, they're not so good as they should be, and the audience is a bit dummy. You can see robots there, but otherwise the scenes are pretty good looking. Yeah, the overall, it's not perfect, but it's the only good bike simulation game out there to consoles, at least. I think it's improved a lot from Ride 1, and it's much more fun than MotoGP games. And if you are a huge bike fan, I bet you're gonna love this game. Even though there are few things that would work better. If there would be mode like arcade mode and simulation mode, I think people would get more easier to the game. But I think they have to improve the speed thing, because the immersion of the speed is not so accurate. There should be much more balls in that. But yeah, that's my first impression of the Ride 2. And that's it for this episode. If you were enjoying, give a like rating, and remember to press the juicy red subscribe button. And we are going to see you at the next episode. Have a great day. Bye bye.